Hello, I hope that everyone is well. So, I am doing this video because it's something that I want to talk about with you today. And yeah, a few things actually that I'd like to talk about. So yeah, let's kind of begin. Obviously there's I have like many different challenges, and lots of people, most people, pretty much everyone with autism has many different challenges, and like for a lot of people like who have autism, those challenges are not necessarily visible, which can often lead to a perception, I think, among a lot of people of that person with autism is not as severe as somebody else with autism, another person with autism. But actually, that's not true. It's just autism presenting itself in a different way, I think. And I get it quite, I get it quite a lot. People say to me sometimes, they're talking about an experience, they've got, or somebody else, maybe in their family or a friend has, or maybe knowing somebody else who is autistic, and they're kind of, they'll reference them as maybe like severe or more severe or less severe or more severe, than, and it's like, well, hang on, like, you don't know, like, my experience, like, you don't know what my challenges are, like, with my autism, like, you don't know any of that, and, you've kind of unwittingly made a judgment kind of thing. So it's and I find it hard a lot of the time to kind of say anything to that. It depends on the situation kind of thing. But I think I a lot of the time when I'm talking to somebody about autism, and if that person does happen to say to me, oh, they know someone else who's more severe, I find it hard to kind of know what to say in response. I feel like I should respond, but I don't really know the way, kind of like, in how to respond kind of thing, like the words kind of thing, if that makes sense, like what words to say. And so yeah, I had it yesterday. I had it actually yesterday. I was talking to an elderly gentleman. I think he's kind of in his early 80s, and he was saying about, his daughter, and his daughter kind of goes into kind of care homes and, special needs facilities, where there are people who are autistic, he said, like you, and he said a lot more severe than you, he said, kind of, those were his words. And I didn't know how to respond. And he's deaf, and he's a bit deaf, and he's also not very well at the moment. So I kind of felt like it wasn't kind of like the right place to respond, the right kind of place for me to respond, because of his age and stuff, and it's difficult to kind of, I find it difficult to correct people, I think, of that age kind of thing. I think if it had been kind of like a more younger person, like, I think then I might have said something. It might have been different kind of thing. But sometimes I find it hard. Like, I find it hard to know what to say. Like, I find it really difficult. sometimes it's just tough, it's just tough to know what to say. So to like know what to say, like, I mean, like, tough to find the right words kind of thing. So it's difficult, and I do kind of, without wanting to judge kind of anyone else like who's autistic, I'm going to anyway. I think that, for people like me who are considered kind of high functioning, I think it's a lot harder for people like us. I think, because for me, I feel like it's because I don't, I don't feel that like my autism gets taken as seriously kind of thing a lot of the time, and I feel like for me, as it's kind of like I have to kind of explain my autism more to people, because it's, for a higher functioning, what's considered like a higher functioning autistic, I think people like me, like, we have to explain ourselves a lot more, like explain our autism and the different challenges and sensory challenges and various challenges it presents. We have to explain ourselves a lot more kind of thing, because it's less visible. But I like, yeah, it's just really, really difficult. So it's tough. It's tough. It's really, really hard, like, because a lot of people, I just think a lot of people just don't get it, kind of thing. I don't think, like, a lot of people kind of just don't get it at all. So a lot of neurotypicals just don't get it at all, kind of thing. So but yeah, that really kind of winds me up when somebody says, like, oh, more severe than me, because it's like, for me, autism is a sliding scale, like, in everyone who's autistic. Like, that's the way I see it. Like, and yes, of course, like, I would say, as an autistic woman, like, I would say that, there are other people who are autistic who are more severe than me, and I would feel comfortable in saying that. But if a neurotypical says it, I don't feel comfortable with that, because, and the reason why I don't feel comfortable with that is, as I've said previously lots of times, is because when a neurotypical person says it, they're saying it without knowing my background, like my story, my life, my experiences, and my challenges, living with autism. Like, they're saying it without knowing any of that stuff. And that's why, it's, when a neurotypical says it, it's different, like, because when I'm saying it, if I say that there's another autistic person who I think is more severe than me, it's because I can say, like, I know what I'm going through myself, so, like, I know my own experiences and stuff. So that's like, I know my own challenges of living with autism, and so yeah, I can say it, kind of thing. I hope, like, that all makes sense. Like, a lot of the time, like, I know, like, a lot of the time when I do these videos, it's kind of like I start rambling on about different, you know, and kind of not making sense. So I hope that kind of like this all makes sense, and yeah, thank you for watching.